everyone and welcome to KYE. I am Sonal Ambekar, your host for this interview. Know Your Entrepreneur is a digital platform where we talk to various entrepreneurs who tell us why they chose not to be stuck to the regular 9 to 5 and wanted to do something different. They wanted to follow their passion. One such entrepreneur we will be talking to today is Mr. Eric Oommen. He has been stuck by the entrepreneurial bug, believe it or not. So he could not stop at one venture. At the moment, he is a part of 4 ventures. He is working in the field of courier and logistics, to fashion, to trading of electronic items. I must mention that he was in Australia having an offer letter ready in his hand while he left all of it back and came back to India to join his family business and start his own venture. See, that is what happens when the entrepreneurial bug bites you. So now he is here. Let's ask him more about his journey. Hi, Eric. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Hi everyone. Good evening, and thank you for having me on this show.
Eric, tell us about your journey. How you were in Australia, you left all of that behind, you came back here, and what was your motivation to do that?
See, to be honest, my journey has been quite a kind of a lot of ups and downs onto the same. It was all because of a few people who actually said that I can never go step out of the country to even study or even they challenged me. They actually challenged me saying that okay, you cannot go out onto the same, and I actually went out, studied over there. But I realized that just studying or having theoretical knowledge will not suffice me, because I need to gain certain practical experiences over there, which I can bring back to our country and then implement it, because our country definitely requires such expertise onto the same.
Yeah, that is the kind of exposure that is needed to start something.
Yes, exactly. So the best opportunity that I could get was to actually understand the markets over there at that point of time, whether it is cosmetics. I was a cosmetic sales agent at that time, whether it is cosmetics, whether it is a franchisee of a home cleaning, or whether even if it is just a gardening franchisee, whichever industry that they were into, I was able to add that. And the plus point of it was that they were ahead of us at least by a few years.
Yeah, right.
Technology-wise or with market-wise or anything. So that gave me an opportunity that yes, we have that much of a gap. That's why what do you call it? We can definitely bridge that gap between each other completely.
Right.
So when I finished my graduation, seeing my performance during one of those cosmetic sales, a company called as Aldi. Aldi's HR had actually approached me saying that they will give me the job of a regional sales manager. But then back then, I had to come back because my family business was there and I had to take up the reins on that.
Yeah.
So I came back. I came back in 2009, and since then I'm in India and I'm working. And started off as at the lowest level on my company. My father said you will not be put right on top, so you have to start at the bottom itself. So started as a delivery boy, from there a branch manager, media manager, sales manager, an accounts manager, a CRM manager, like that, so on and so forth. As I was saying that since last 5 years I'm holding the title of CEO of the professional couriers. And even at that point of time, I could see there was a lot of gap in that. But primarily, the thing was that I had to come out of my shadow, my family's shadow, and create a legacy of my own. So that was the first strike of my entrepreneurial skills. But to be honest, I started with my first company that is called as CQ Logistics. And it did not fare out well. I had a very bad, miserable failure in that.
But like you came out with flying colors, I'm sure. Like the company.
Yes, I actually did. I actually recovered. At least I recovered all my losses completely. In last 2-3 years, I recovered my losses, and I'm actually now keeping that company afloat with let's say, to handle certain postal works that I have been assigned to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
And with that failure, I actually learned quite a lot as to how to handle other companies and how to even start a
yeah,
particular company.
right. The
From
basics
then
of
on,
having your own enterprise. Right.
exactly, the downfalls, the flaws of having your own enterprise. The
Yeah.
flaws of having your own enterprise. And from there, then I started a online boutique with my wife called as Nithrik Designs. And she is the head, and I'm just a silent partner in that. And she takes care of it completely.
Nice.
So I manage the finances.
Yeah, of course. And
and
what about
and
your venture?
Fourth company is called as the ESS Enterprises, which I started with a few of my friends. Again, seeing that there is a demand for LED and tower fans, and I know the supply of LED and tower fans, and I merge both together. I have the technology, I have the expertise, I have the market. Everything is set in place. So it's just that I need to connect it all together. And touch wood, by grace of God, we have been doing quite well. We have, at least our survival stage is gone, and now we are in the growth stage.
You're thriving now.
Yes, we are thriving.
Yeah. Yes. So, Eric, like you mentioned that you've had one long journey with ups and downs. In the beginning, what was your motivation behind being an entrepreneur? Why did you choose entrepreneurship over, the comfortable 9 to 5 that some people stick to?
I like to be my own boss. I do not want to be answerable to anyone, and I set my goals. I set my deadlines. I work hard for it. It is my passion which I work against it. So if it is my failure, it is my own. If it is my success, it is my own.
Right.
It is me and my team who is believing in this idea and the vision. And there are many people who wants to take leadership, but they do not have the risk-taking factor.
Yeah, that is the most important one, right?
Yes, the biggest factor into being an entrepreneur is to actually take the risk. The risk of failure, to be exact. It's a risk of failure. Success, everyone loves to be successful, but nobody wants to risk being a failure.
Yeah.
So once you get over that fear of failure is when you actually find that, okay, now I can try. This is my failure. This is where I have actually lost a lot of time and money and effort and everything. And then so on and so forth, you can build up on it. So when you ask about why I chose entrepreneurship is because I like to leave a legacy behind for my generation, for my children.
That is very thoughtful of you, Eric.
Grandfather has created a company. My father has created another set of company. Now it is up to them whether they want to create it, they want to maintain it. It's up to them.
Right. That is very thoughtful, Eric, I must say. So you have like 4 ventures that you take care of some way or the other, right? So what is the sense, like what is the factor that gives you a sense of accomplishment while you're doing it? While you're being the entrepreneur?
Customer satisfaction and recognition.
Right, of course. That comes, that is the foremost thing for an entrepreneur, to connect with the customers the customers giving a good feedback, right?
Yes, completely. Because see, I know for a fact that even if I spend lakhs or crores of rupees in advertisement, if the customer are not satisfied with my product, I'm just in a short-term game. Yeah. So the speed at which I'm growing, I'll also come down in that same speed itself. Whereas if I am giving a reliable, a solid, and a committed product to my client, whether it is my product or it is my services, I strive to make ensure that my customers are satisfied. I won't say that every customer can be satisfied, but at least 90 to 95% of my customers should be satisfied is my motto.
Right. Rightly said. So, as you said, you've had your share of ups and downs. So, I'm sure when you came back from Australia, there must have been certain barriers or certain challenges that you had to face, even when you started your own venture. So what were such barriers and how did you overcome them?
First barrier was that whatever was the theory that I learned from abroad is nothing to what comes to practicality. So literally I had to throw out the entire theory out.
Yeah.
You have to literally learn everything practically on hand,
Practically.
because theoretically you can paint a very rosy picture that, oh, every entrepreneur or every company is so easy to start off. But when it actually comes to the practicality, you will find, or you will have to take the pain, and you will have to understand that each and every decision that you make, whether it
The
is good or whether it
consequences.
is bad, it has its effect on the company.
Right.
And what others say, or what how others portray, is that, okay, you know what, I have money, I will spend it lavishly. That is where the issue comes in. Until unless your company is stable,
Yeah.
you cannot be stable. You
Right.
can rake in the profits and then have a lavish life and have the company in the ditches, and thereby living that company in the short life.
Right.
Whereas you invest, you reinvest, you actually ensure that your company is more and more stable day by day
Stable.
onto the same.
Maintaining the quality and
Exactly.
how it runs. Right. Right. I understand.
Exactly. So you need to have a very, very, very long-term goal as to what is it that you want.
Right.
You do not need to be in a race to impress anybody else other than yourself.
Yeah. That is very well said. And were there any other barriers you faced as you went on to start your next venture, or would you like to share anything?
See, barriers as such, yes, there were a lot of doubtful eyes on my part, in which I was everybody used to question me that why do you need to, you have your family business, your family
Right.
business is such a reputed business onto the same, why do you need to venture it out?
Yeah.
But to all of them, I said only one thing, is that I need to have my own identity. Whether even if
Right.
it is on a small basis or a large basis, at least I have the satisfaction that I have tried. I've tried to be successful. I've taken a risk.
Right.
And after a particular age, you will actually not feel like taking a risk. So when you can take a risk, when you
You
have the
should.
backing and you have the
Right.
risk taking factor, you should take a risk,
Right.
because you have the lifetime to correct your mistakes, but you will not have the time to regret about the
You won't
mistakes
get
that you
this
made.
time back. Right. So
Exactly.
at this moment, Eric, what are the factors, like what do you think is required of you to, achieve your business aspirations?
Now that is a very, very, very wide scope.
Tell
See,
us briefly
right
whatever you
now,
feel important is.
no, what I feel important is that currently with the market scenario, those all aspirations have to be kept on a hold, because right now every company has to attain a survivability, has to go
Right.
through a survivability mode. Right, I would say right now is the best time to actually invest in the company and
Yeah.
ensure that there is a good brand recognition.
Right.
Because when you are down, when you are at the lowest, if you can sustain your company, when it grows, it will grow with the market.
Yeah. Like the base
Yeah,
needs to be strong.
exactly. Your base needs to be very strong enough to actually handle any kind of ups and downs.
Right.
And by it's I will say is that it is not by my efforts, but it is all God's grace that I am doing this, or even come to this position where which I am actually doing this interview about it. So it is all God's grace. So I do not know how religious others are, but I'm a very religious person. So given my principles, I say that God has been a very supportive
Yeah.
person in my life. Everything is up to Him.
Right. It's really good to know that. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, like, how has these ventures changed you as a person? How has being an entrepreneur changed you as a person?
Change I could find in me is that I have actually started seeing the people for what their value and what their worth is all about. There is a
Okay.
lot of people who can talk the walk, and there is a lot of people who can walk the talk.
Yeah.
I am one. I want to identify. I am right now in a capable position to identify who can actually walk the talk. There
Yeah.
are a lot of people who will sit together. Oh, this idea is good. That idea is good. We should invest in here. We should start up this. We should start up that. But when it actually comes to the starting up of it,
The
they
execution
actually
part.
are very, yeah, the
Right.
execution part. They are very afraid of it.
Yeah.
And with these ventures and with my partners and with my exposures and everything, I have been able to understand that there are a lot of people who can talk, but there is very, very, very rare
You
a
can
person
actually
who can
make it
actually
happen.
take the risk.
Right.
Exactly. So identification of such people with the identification of their passion and with the thorough legal requirements as such being the base onto the same, wherein which every party is successful and every party is safeguarded. That
It's a
is how you
win-win for
actually grow.
everyone. Right. It should be.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
It
Right.
should be. It should be because there are a lot of people who come join with me with a certain trust factor,
Yeah.
and there is a lot of people I am putting my trust factor in them. But trust alone does not make any businesses grow, or it does not make any successes grow. You have to stabilize it legally. And one thing I have noticed in our country is that people do not value legal system much efficiently. That is
Yeah.
maybe due to the lack of understanding of it, but
Right.
this is my sincere uh, we call it
Observation.
sincere advice to anybody who wants to do about it, and whether it's in partnership, whether it's any kind of what do you call it, any kind of venture that you want to take up through, is that make your legal base strong.
Legal
So that
based.
tomorrow nothing will come and shake you up very badly, or there is nothing caught up with surprises saying that, oh, okay, this is, I was not aware of it.
Yeah. Do not leave any legal loopholes whenever you do.
Exactly.
So since you gave this genuine advice, I would like to ask you to tell us some words of wisdom that you would like to give the budding entrepreneurs who, like we said, they don't have the risk taking factor, but they still have ideas that can be worthy of a big entrepreneurship, a big business, but they're just scared. So what are the words of wisdom you would like to give such people that would encourage them?
I would say is that not every idea should be fruitful. Not every idea is definitely needed in the market.
Right.
Identify what is the demand. Identify what is the problem, and does your idea fit into that problem or
Right.
demand? If it is, take the risk. You will earn your profits. Wherein which, if there is already an excessive supply of a particular matter and you are just going to be a part of it, I would say not do that.
Okay.
You need to have certain unique characteristics
Right.
when you're selling something, whether it is your services, whether it is your product. You need to have a certain unique characteristics that you need to sell, wherein which you then that will identify a particular problem. It will provide your product should be a solution for it, and
Right.
the customer should be attracted towards it.
Right. Very well said, Eric.
Yeah.
We're really honored to have you here and tell us about your inspiring journey, which I'm sure will inspire a lot of our viewers. Guys, take note, all his ventures, we will be tagging them down here. Please go check it out. And Eric, it was great having you here talk to us about your journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonal. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and all the very best for all the entrepreneurs who are willing to take the risk and who are willing to go and take a leap of faith in their own ideas and their own businesses. You don't need to worry about failures. Failures is a part and parcel of life, and failure is the stepping stone to success. Once you know that the failure is only at this particular maximum extent, from there you will actually grow.
From there you will always go upward in one direction.
Exactly.
That is upwards, right?
Exactly.
Very well. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, Eric.